only Thursday.
I know. It's only Thursday morning.
You should all stand.
You should all stand. Standing ovation. So, hi, my name is Zan, Charles Zan Christensen. I've done a lot of things, but most people know me as the founding president of Prism Comics, which is the nonprofit that promotes and supports LGBT comics creators and readers. We have a huge gay island downstairs at booth numbers 2146, 2148, and 2049. It's a giant space. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. So come down and take a look. Pick up a copy of the Gay Agenda, which is all of the items that are going on that are queer events that are happening at the show. We have a few here that Andy has thoughtfully brought to distribute after the panel. I'm also a publisher. I just published the first book from Northwest Press, which is Teleny and Camille, which is an adaptation of an erotic Victorian novel attributed to Oscar Wilde by John Macy. And that's available 2 days, the first day that it's available, and it's down at the Prism Comics booth as well. And I'll be down there after 2 p.m. with John doing signings and something. So I'm a very lazy moderator in another way, in that I didn't prep at all for this panel. I wore my Wonder Woman shirt. So that's one thing. But I'm going to go ahead and have each of the panelists introduce themselves. I'm familiar enough with these panels, so I didn't need to research anybody. But go ahead and introduce yourself, talk about what you've done in the Divas and Golden Lassoes realm, and we'll get to know you.
Hi, I'm Marc Andreyko. I wrote a book called Manhunter for DC. Thank you. Made obsidian gay, but not evil.
And not an egg.
Well, I like what Bill did, actually, but he'll be evil again, I'm sure, because that's what they do. They destroy Paradise Island and make obsidian evil. I also co-wrote Torso with Brian Bendis. They just announced I'm doing an Oracle one-shot for Bruce Wayne. And something really exciting for the gay and lesbian audience, I'm doing a 10-page obsidian story for the new JSA 80-page giant that's coming out in October. And that should make people that like obsidian very happy, because he's actually not crazy in this one. So.
I'm Jimenez. Probably best known for the sort of topic area. I wrote New Wonder Woman many years ago. I just the Essential Wonder Woman Encyclopedia. I just finished a really long run on Astonishing X-Men, and I think there will be an announcement tomorrow at Aeacus. No.
So you are a Marvel exclusive.
No.
Oh, you are?
No. I did Tuesday. That's not meant to be as like it's like I can't really talk about what's coming next. So
Hi, I'm Andy Mangels. I've been a writer in the comic industry for 25 years. And although I've never had the opportunity to write Wonder Woman, I've written about Wonder Woman, written articles, interviews, and so forth for 25 years. Profiled George Perez, interviewed Phil, and was going to be doing a Wonder Woman companion book until some complications arose. One of those being that I do a big charity event every October called Wonder Woman Day, which happens in October and raises money for domestic violence shelters, and raises information about domestic violence awareness. To date, it's raised over $89,000. And this year will be Wonder Woman Day 5, and I'm sure I'll be talking some more about Wonder Woman Day as we go on. And I have to say that I did something special just for this panel on Tuesday. For those of you who haven't seen a side profile of me, let me comb my mustache down. So, yeah, these, however, have been since last October. So, But yeah, this was done for the panel here.
I think that Wonder Woman's costume should include some mutton chops as well.
I actually did something this morning.
You said you were going to talk about that.
I'm Michael Troy, and I have a book, the Homo Heroes big book of fun and adventure, but I've moved on to the Blonde Squad about shallow blonde superheroes. And there's a gay character. And I also do a show on YouTube called A Minute with Margot, where I throw on a wig and wear glasses and pretend like I'm Margot Kidder talking about gay day in Hollywood. It's hundreds and hundreds of viewers, something like that. And I'm feeling a little bit like Gloria Estefan of First Divas Library. Those have me out of the picture.
Those Margot Kidder videos are eerily accurate.
I can't answer where it comes from. She takes over.
She has the right to take over. She's been around long enough to have squatting rights in anybody's body.
Or anyone's backyard.
I know. Squatting rights. She probably has laid an egg.
I have to say too, those Margot Kidder videos are a string. I asked him to do Margot Kidder here on the panel, but it seems...
She's not in my suitcase.
I don't know. I guess that the audience really made...
There is internet access in that. It's pretty frequent. It's a small enough panel. I'm not qualified to talk about Wonder Woman except for my shirt. And the fact that my alarm tone is the Wonder Woman theme song. But other than that, I'm not really qualified to talk about Wonder Woman or divas in general. So I just wanted to kind of moderate, take us through a few topics, talk about kind of some serious stuff about female characters and powerful female characters in comics. So a little bit of the campy side, and just kind of let you guys steer for the most part. But one thing I wanted to...
Can I interject something about that, by the way?
You may.
On The Beat, which is Heidi McDonald's website, they were commenting that this is the Divas and Super Heroines panel, and all it has on it is men. And you have here, and in the responses, I unfortunately got there a little late, so I don't think anybody even kept reading the responses, but I said, well, perhaps that's because this is the gay male panel talking about divas and superheroines, and the other 7 female in comics, or girls in comics, or women in comics, or superheroines and women in comics, or kick-ass superheroines, or kick-ass women in superheroines. The 7 other panels about women in comics are all women. So maybe we can have just this one, just in the house.
It's definitely kind of a unique topic. I mean, it's not men talking about, it's not just men talking about women in comics. It's not women talking about women in comics. It's not just about women in comics. It's about that kind of special intersection between kind of like the gay male aesthetic or the gay male, the things that we're interested in as gay men, and this attraction to strong women characters. Because I mean, you'd think that gay men would want to read about gay men in comics, or big muscular supermen in comics. And we do. But,
read is in quotation.
Oh, we read. Well, yeah, you can read. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's important to talk about. I wanted to talk about the kind of inspirational part to start. The fact that I know Phil and Andy, that you both take Wonder Woman as a character to heart in an intense way, and it's not about camp, and it's not about fun and funniness. It's more about her as an inspiration, her as a role model, her as a powerful figure. I think, in that you admire the person that she represents.
Yes, although I would.
Not that that's the only thing, but
but I would offer that in that, and certainly this has a lot to do with the research I did in the past 3 years of the Encyclopedia. The fun, the camp, etc., is actually a part of what's appealing.
Right.
It's certainly not. I think when I was 16, I probably would not have appreciated that in the way that I do now. and actually how integral that was to the original character, and how far the character has veered from that, partly to appeal to straight people, particularly straight men, which I think is really interesting. So I just wanted to put that as a side. Also, if I can offer, and this will probably make everything really unruly, but I've been doing these panels for a really long time and talk about subjects like this, and I have, given my opinion about the topic over and over. But one thing I'm always really curious about is, I sort of know how I feel and how some of my peers feel. I'm always really curious about how you guys feel about this specific topic, and particularly for the game and the audience, who find themselves attracted to female superheroes or diva archetypes, etc. What you guys find appealing about them. So I hope that we have time at the end just to get a little opinion. Great. Let's question. I'd really like to hear what you guys have to say. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Andy, Wonder Woman as a role model, archetype, as a character you admire?
Falling back on the stereotypes of strong mother syndrome or things like that, I think that it can't be dismissed that many of us, and I think as all of us speak here, and we know that there are a lot of women in the audience, and I'm not in any way saying, oh, this is solely limited to gay men or males or anything like that. So please don't take anything to read that way, because I think this also works well with women. I think though that the element of the character that speaks, for me, what Wonder Woman in particular often represents was not equality for women, but equality for all. That character, when she was originally created and originally written, yes, she was meant to be a character that inspired young girls and women, and perhaps in fantasies among servicemen of World War II. But she was meant as a symbol for all. She never spoke about, well, women or girls should have these kinds of rights. She was just as likely to help the little boys out, or to help the men out, as she was, and she would preach, if she was going to preach, or give a life lesson, she would preach to the women as much as she would to the men, and to the girls as much as she would to the boys. And her message was always about equality for all, and peace, and strength, and pride. And for me, that's the element, the elements that my mother brought to my life, and that's the elements that I try to bring into my own life and bring to other people.